Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome today to Just One More Mod. Yeah, thank you. To be honest, it seems like it has been ages since I made a mod video because it has been ages since I made a mod video. Today, cheeky little bonus one, shouldn't take me too long in theory because it is essentially just a recase. I bought a new case and I'm going to put a dial hands movement wholesale straight into it. Now I saw someone else do this very same mod on Instagram and I thought, ooh, I've got to have one of those. And within about 5 minutes I had parted ways with $25 and I had one of these Jellyfish crystal submariner style see-through cases on their way to me. I bought it from a company called Modz with a Z. I'll leave a link to their store in the description of the video. No association, no affiliation, but it did arrive here in Sydney in good time. So if you have a watch featuring an NH35 or NH36 movement that's in reasonable state of repair, but perhaps has slipped down the pecking order within your collection, whether it's a Pagani, an Invicta, a Cadison, a Guanchin or something similar, maybe this is a cheap and easy way to get it back into your rotation. Let's flip the camera and do some modding. Okay, and here it is all the way from Watch Modz. I'm wearing gloves from the start today in an attempt to look professional. They call this one the Phantom subcase, as you saw. I'm calling it a Jellyfish or crystal, whatever. It's all made of ABS plastic. It has an acrylic dome crystal, entirely see-through case back, see-through crown. It really does look pretty fantastic. It does, however, have the worst bezel action I have encountered on anything. 30 meters of water resistance and a push-pull crown, so sub by name but not sub by nature. What is my donor watch? Well, this is my donor watch, and it's not what you think it is. It is not a Seiko. I bought this one on ALIEXPRESS. I admit I'd had a few adult beverages in May last year, so ages ago, and I bought it with the intention of mocking it because it has a 24-hour GMT bezel on a three-hander. I have never seen that before. I have never seen that since. It's an expensive joke though, and the joke was on me when it turned up. $130 I paid for this. I hadn't ordered a fake Seiko. I had ordered a no-brander, or at least that's what I thought, but when it turned up it had the Seiko logo on the dial of the watch. I complained to the vendor but didn't get too far, so it went in a drawer, and my intention was always to mod it. It has a huge piece of domed acrylic crystal itself covering the dial and handset. The case is pretty much junk, the bezel action is awful, the bracelet is also terrible, but the dial and the hands are really, really nice. Colour match date wheel and phenomenal loom on this one, almost good enough to include in a Loom Wars if it wasn't a fake. No matter, it'll be a fake with a new case in 10 minutes or less. Alright, on to the tools today. Simple job, simple tool set. The trusty Bergeon 6767, the trusty Pretend Bergeon Rolex style case back removers. Both the donor watch and this subcase both have this Rolex style. Also included here is my $2 puffer, again with veneer of professionalism to puff out any dust, and a couple of extra stems. Always good to have NH35 stems on hand because you only get one chance, and if you get it wrong you'll be looking for another stem. The only other tool that I need for this one is my Leatherman. I'm not sponsored by Leatherman, but I bloody wish I was. I've had this thing for nearly 20 years and I love it. I always know where it is and it comes in handy just about every day. It is great for clipping stems, and that's what I'm going to use it for today. Alright, let's take the bracelet off of this one, take the case back off and confirm, thank goodness, it is indeed a Seiko NH35 in the back. Pop that one out and there we go, an attractive looking dial and hands, all very much in the Seiko mould. Alright, case back off, crown off, nice little touch here. It has a crystal case back gasket, a see-through case back gasket, helping make the whole thing see-through. Alright, I put the movement in and I screwed down the case back just to check that it had enough pressure there that it was going to hold firm, and indeed it did hold firm. I thought initially I was going to have to put a different movement holder in here, a longer black one rather than the grey one that came with the Feiko, but it turned out to be okay. If I screw the case back down really tight, everything fitted snugly. And it is a very, very easy job, this one. That's pretty much it. The only thing I had to do that was difficult or vaguely difficult
is to size the stem. Now the easiest way to do this, I got my calipers out, I measured it at 8mm, I got my pen out and marked it at around 7mm. Always best to do this a couple of times rather than to do it once and get it wrong as discussed. In the end it did take me a couple of shots, but I got it right, no problems at all. This one, because as a push-pull crown, you don't have that extra leeway that you get from a screw-down crown, so I had to get it spot on. And once more, in an attempt to look professional, I got the Loctite out here, made sure that crown was nice and firm on the crown stem, and really, that was it today. Like I said, not an expensive mod, not a difficult mod at all. You saw the tools I used. Really, apart from those caseback removal tools, you could just as well use one of those inflatable rubber balls, which cost you $2 or $3. I used pretty much nothing here. Now clearly this is not the only case option you have. There are plenty of others out there. Like I said, it's maybe a cheap way of refreshing a watch that you've fallen out of love with. It certainly brings a totally unique look to this one, doesn't it? And I actually quite like it. You notice no minute markers on the dial here. I assume the original Seiko that was being ripped off for this one had a chapter ring with minute markers on that. It's a very, very clean and attractive dial set though. I actually think it looks good in that crystal case. But the big question today is, what strap is it going on? First up, I kind of juxtaposed the old and the new, that clean crystal case with the rather rough and ready looking Collareb Spoleto in rust brown, one of my oldest straps. I've had this one for 5 years. It came in looking distressed and it's looking even more distressed now. Personally, I like this a lot. This is a big, thick and chunky Horween from Geneva Blue, vintage cross stitching. I think the black, the white, keeps it nice and clean overall. Or why not go for something fun and colourful, because it is a fun mod. Two-piece Zulu here in bright orange with some chunky fastening. Or what about a NATO strap? Again, adding a little bit of colour, but using the grey and the black to tone it back down to link in nicely with the dial. Or just throw all of that straight out the window and go with this green and gold, yellow and green, very Australian colours there. Overall, $25, easy to do, minimal equipment required. If I had my time and my money again, I would probably have spent $10 more and gone for their loomed bezel case, but I bought this one in such a hurry I didn't even notice it in stock. Typical Jody.
So there you have it, another watch modding video where I didn't make a total disaster. I don't tend to publish the ones that are a disaster. If you enjoy seeing a man with not too much skill hack his way through watch mods, why don't you watch one of these two videos? Thanks for watching, see you again soon.